But it's just funny to say this stuff. You know?
It is.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm kind of over too. Like,
wait, I'm correct. I know, and
I'm
here I go, and I put it
too.
right in your face on a Monday morning.
I know. I was gonna stay silent, but I just can't.
Can't do it. Becky, you pushed me over the limit.
I just
it's just so.
I get it, but
yeah, I think the thing that with me is it's just so silly almost. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing, because like. On social media, a lot of wives and a lot of women are saying to men saying, "Did you even know that that Travis Kelce is a football player? Like Taylor Swift put him on the map.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Yeah, and it's just funny to me that's just so crazy.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
I'm embracing that silliness. So silly. But anyway, yeah. So this jersey was given to me, so I am wearing it, but it was a gift. I did not purchase this jersey. So, okay.
Gifts are nice.
We shall see. Yes, gifts are nice. Yes. Faux show. All right. Today is the 29th day. We don't have a game tonight, so okay. But tomorrow we have Iowa and IU. Mindy, how do you feel about IU doing? How do you feel about that?
Oh boy, when's this program over?
I'm really hitting you hard on a Monday, right?
Well, I'm not happy. Let's say that. Not happy.
We're gonna air our grievances today.
This is the airing of grievances. That's right. It's Festivus today. It's the airing of grievances. It's Festivus today. Yeah, we're gonna do some airing of grievances. Yeah, I don't know. Basketball's a fun game. They don't look like they're having very much fun.
I'm sad about that because
I am too.
I really would love to see that. Yeah.
Yes.
Aaron, are you just not really?
Not an IU fan, no.
Okay. I didn't think so, and I've got you two beside each other. Watch me. I'm like, I feel like Zeus and Lucy. Okay?
I understand. I'm sort of pondering my allegiances right now too. I'm suffering. I would say I was rooting for the Lions so much last night because I have become this poor suffering fandom person, and any fandom that has that much joy. And I love Dan Campbell. Everybody loves Dan Campbell. He's just seems like a good guy, and those guys love to play for him. And
well, and I was thinking because I'm with you. I was rooting there for them too because they have not done this. You know what I mean? And I really would like to see this. I kind of was rooting for them too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think all of America was rooting for them last night.
I think so too. Well, so we're kind of feeling like sometimes the underdog. It'd be cool to get some of the underdogs. To flip it a little.
Yes.
Make it a little more fair, a little more fun.
They had it there.
I know.
They had it. I mean, Shanahan made some good adjustments in the second half, and they just couldn't keep up. But I was really rooting for them. Suffering fandoms, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
If anybody,
the
team,
bleeding hearts.
Yeah, your team is doing good. You've not been there for 30 years. At least some of my teams have won, a championship in 30 years.
So if you look at it, if let's just go down the road here. If the Chiefs win, then they'll have 5. So they'll have like a brass knuckle. Like if they were all of the rings.
Yes.
They'll be like brass knuckle.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Or right? Isn't that right? Yeah.
Yes.
Like a brass knuckle. It's like, and me and rings. So if I was them, I'd be wearing my every ring.
Yeah. Every ring.
My hand would be heavy, but
right.
I would have them on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
That bling. But
that's right.
I mean, so that's it would have been. I mean, we'll see what I don't know. I just think it would be cool though to see a little bit mix it up.
Yes,
there.
I agree.
And
like I say, the Lions fans have suffered enough.
Yeah.
They've suffered enough.
Let the mouse go. We've had enough. No, I'm being silly. Oh, I wasn't. Oh, no, you were thinking.
I thought Sissy had a mouse. I thought Sissy. I was like, I have a thing with mice. I don't like mice. I'm just saying.
It's a metaphor.
No, I was trying to be.
Look, I told Arab, I said, I've never seen a mouse in my house, but if I do, it's going to be like emergency.
Sissy baby. Call Sissy baby. I swear.
No, it's going to be me calling you going, you need to get here right now.
Right now.
Like, I don't care what time it is. Are you good with me?
Yes.
Standing in a chair.
Yeah. Troy, are you good? Because I'm going to call you. I'm just saying.
Yes, exactly.
And you're going to come to me like,
Well, and if he doesn't pick up, then call me, because I will be bringing for sure, because Sissy Baby is, I really could bring, no, I promise, I could really, that would be a wonderful thing, Sissy, to actually
to rent her services
rent her out, absolutely, yes, for sure, because she can nail them, she gets them, and she's kind of a torturer, which makes me kind of, ugh. But anyway, yeah, I'm not really, no mouse wants to be in her path, but no, I was being silly, because I was meaning, like, let the mouse go. The cats. The big cats, you fat cats, let the mouse go. Let them,
Yeah.
That was I knew. Yeah.
I was nervous there. I was nervous there for a minute.
Erin's like, no.
Loved it.
I know. Yes, Mindy. At any given time, Sissy could walk in with something. Okay, she has done it. You know what I mean? And when she likes people, she brings you gifts. Let me tell you, those are her gifts. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so tonight we have. Let's see here. We have the Iowa IU. We have Pacers at the Celtics, and that'll be a 7:30 tip-off. And we'll join the pregame with that. And we'll join the game in progress. Sorry about that. Wednesday night, the Lady Eastern Musketeers will kick off with Clarksville Lady Generals, and this is sectional action for girls. And Northwestern will be at Purdue at 6:30 tip-off, 5:30 pregame. So sectional has started. And then, of course, the Salem Lions boys will be at Silver Creek, and then the Pacers versus the Knicks on Thursday. Friday will be, we'll see what happens with the sectional. So we'll see.
Now, Becky, all those sports are important.
Yes. Okay. I know it's coming around the river bend here. I know.
But the most important sporting event happened on Saturday. Pegasus World Cup, which is the official start, the unofficial start of the North American racing season, horse racing season. Yay. So that was Saturday.
Yay. Well, tell us all about it, and tell us, okay, let us know everything. You are the reporter for this. Okay, tell all about it. And do they do the same trumpet that Churchill Downs is?
Yeah, all tracks do. Yeah.
I thought
now some of the
they don't have Steve though, because Steve.
They don't have Steve.
Steve's our favorite.
But Fairgrounds will do that's in New Orleans. Like they'll do kind of a jet. They'll do the initial thing that everybody recognizes, and then they'll do a little jazz part on the end of it sometimes. So some of they're all a little different, but yes, that is traditionally, if you're at a track, you're going to hear that call to post. Yeah.
I love that. I thought so, but I just, just for those viewers,
That
all right. So then, so let's talk about this one and tell us the horses and the environment. What are they running on? What's the weather like? Give us all
so the weather, on the East Coast has been obviously, like, we've had lots of sloppy racetracks.
That's what I was going to say. I think, everybody has been experiencing it.
Yes.
Even the Floridians are like, what's this?
Yes, right. But it was a beautiful day. It was at Gulfstream, which is in Miami, Gulfstream Park, and of course their weather, was beautiful on Saturday. So, it was really good. I'm sorry, my watch is doing something. Sorry, and this is a new watch, so I don't know how to turn it off. So I'm so sorry.
It sounds like a drop of water.
Right.
And so I've not minded it. I just keep thinking something's dripping. Okay.
I've got this off. I have my phone off, and I don't know how to.
This is not an obnoxious sound. It's just
I don't know how to do that.
It's okay. It's not bugging me at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's kind of in the 3-year-old division. There's kind of one horse that's above the rest, but it's a long time till May. So, Fierceness is his name. Fierceness. He's really done well. He won the juvenile at the Breeders' Cup, which doesn't always translate to a Derby win. I think only 2 horses have done it, so that's not necessarily the best factor. But he does seem to be the horse to beat right now, and I don't know. We'll see.
So tell us about him. What's he look like?
He's chestnut.
Wait, I feel like
he's a big old chestnut. Yeah, he's a big old chestnut. No gray.
Okay. All right.
But he's, we'll see.
Does he have any funny characteristics? Anything that he
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah, not that I know of. But we got some good horses in the crop. It just it's just early. It's early.
So what are they running on? Are they running on
dirt?
Dirt. Okay.
Yeah, these are dirt. Mm-hmm.
And so the track, I guess itself, would they have somewhat tried to dry it off a little bit because?
Oaklawn yesterday was a muddy mess. No, they don't. They're sealed, which means they have, there's some drainage there, obviously. But yeah, yesterday at Oaklawn, it was just like running in a mud puddle all the way around.
Right.
And then it brings up, you kind of get into, who doesn't like the kickback. Some of the horses kind of resent the kickback, so it changes their running style. So it depends on. But most horses can handle the mud because Curlin's, into mischiefs. I mean, it's not such a, I don't think it's quite a thing anymore. Who's a mutter?
Yeah.
His mutter was a mutter.
I know,
a mutter.
yeah.
His father was a mutter.
Because, they always say with children, these kids are getting so soft. So, but we can't say that with the horses because the horses aren't getting so soft.
Yeah.
No.
They're okay with this. But I think this brings up a good point. If he's good in mutter, if he is a good mutter, then I think that's good because whenever it's May, we never know what we're going to get. And May in this Kentuckiana area time, a lot of times you have the muddy trap.
Yes.
So you got to watch that because who runs better and who's not, who don't care about the dirt,
Right.
I mean,
right.
And obviously if he's not caring about it, then that's a good contender.
Yes. But I don't know that a lot of them, if you get to that point that a lot of them, they don't really
get over the fear.
Care. Yeah, they don't really care.
Wonder, because like I know like with horses and stuff, I think that like a lot of times you have to get them over. If they have a fear, you just try to get them over the fear.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that with the mud, I guess just the more races they do that are muddy, the more they'll get used to it and realize.
Yeah. And so far we've had a lot of muddy tracks. So there's another horse I kind of like called Dornoch, Dornoch, Dornoch.
Is it because of the name?
No. He ran, in my opinion, probably the best prep race we've seen. He was really kind of beaten, and he's got some, that little horse got some heart to him for sure. He was beaten, and he wasn't going to be denied. He dug in and held on, and he was at Aqueduct. He was running in New York. So I think and he's number 5 on the list for points wise so far. So I kind of like that horse.
Has the two gone against each other?
No, not yet. Not yet.
See, I love that. I love that because when you have the different, they've not competed against each other.
So I don't. The horses run on different circuits, and I don't. I mean, Fierceness and Dornoch might meet. I do think maybe. I think Fierceness is running in the Florida circuit, and I think Dornoch's going to run in the New York circuit. So see, they probably won't meet if everything holds true. They'll probably meet in the Derby.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's when the two worlds collide.
Yeah. But if they're running on the same circuit, they would eventually face in that one. In one of the preps, they would eventually face each other. But I don't think they're probably going to, if I had to guess.
So he's got 5 points. How many points do you have to get to the Derby?
Well, it's just.
I can't.
It's just. How many have you don't? It's the top 20 in points.
Okay.
So the number does. The number is different every year. You just have to be in the top 20.
Well, the reason I asked that is because you want to, of course, get your points up so that you can be a contender, but also with that comes injuries or overdoing it.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to have that good balance, that good chemistry there, to get it.
So if one gets knocked off the top 20, do they just move the next one up?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they sure do.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Rich Strike. He pulled into the field because he was the next one up. So
he just ended up being able to because one got knocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one. Well, I guess that would have been Forte. That would have been the favorite, right? Because the favorite got because the vet stewards said he couldn't run.
Yeah.
And that's how. Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Still crazy.
Definitely.
But Fierceness is tied for the most points. They both and then Track Phantom, which I don't know. I kind of like. The horse is okay. Too, but.
So, just for those, I think it's so awesome because we're right here in the heart of it all, and I think it's so cool to know. And I think there's a lot of things that people don't always understand, and I think to enjoy it and if you understand it, you'll enjoy it more. It's always I always said with football,
Yes.
Learn football. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was one of the best things, that I learned was football, because that's why I enjoy it, because I learned it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people say I don't like it. Well, because you just don't
know what's going on.
Right, exactly.
Watch,
and I feel like that with the Derby too, a lot of times, or horse racing in general. And it can be a lot.
And horse racing in general is hard to follow as a sport.
Yeah.
I think if they somehow made it easier, I think it's hard to follow.
Those of us hard to follow. Well,
it's hard to follow.
For someone outside looking in, I don't know much about
it.
Yeah.
Besides the basics or what I always talked about. It's super hard to follow.
Yeah.
Well, I was in another state, and actually, and a little far away. This was maybe a few months ago, and someone, when I said where I was from, they were like, "How do you feel about, the horse racing?" And it was kind of like, well, first of all, like they were just like trying to figure out, like, because there's been some bad raps, you know what I mean? And it's the sport has taken a lot, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And of course, I know Mindy and I know Erin and I do. We love animals, we're all animals lovers in this room, you know what I mean? So of course we want them. I mean, they can do. I mean, it's not unhealthy if it's done correctly,
right?
And it can be a nice thing if it's done correctly.
Right.
So I really didn't have any short answer. I just kind of I bumbled and fumbled and bumbled.
Yeah.
Well, I would have had a lot to say about
that. Yeah. Well, I didn't have that much time, and I thought this man probably didn't really. I mean, he was just trying to make conversation, probably more so. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I said, because we right here, when you live in this area, you're raised on knowing about the Derby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things, we love the Derby.
Yeah.
But you also want it to be done correctly.
Yeah.
And handled correctly. And that's where it's almost like a politician, you have to put your hands that it's all being done for those that are making the decisions and stuff, that they're making the right decisions.
Right. Right.
And that's where you kind of,
Yeah, I agree. It's, definitely bad rap. There have been some, some feel-good stories around, like Cody's Wish. I mean, that's another one. I don't know if, anyway, again, following, Cody's Wish was, his champion horse. In fact, he's the horse of the year he was horse of the year last year. But he had a connection with a disabled young man named Cody Dorman, and that's where his name came from. But, Cody, met the horse through Make-A-Wish Foundation in Kentucky, and they just bonded. The horse and this young man bonded, and Cody pretty much at every race and all that. But Cody passed away on the flight back from Breeders' Cup, which is so sad. And that was Cody's last race. He's retired now, so. Yeah, that's
what a beautiful story.
I know. It's really. I mean, and unfortunately, Cody passed away, but it was kind of interesting that he passed away after Cody's last race.
Yeah.
Cody's Wish last race, but anyway, so there's some feel-good stories around the sport, of course, and.
Well, to watch them run, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like machines. They're machines. They're just, and then when we always like to know like a little bit of their personality, you know what I mean? You get to know them, and of course, the trainers, the jockeys, everybody that goes involved, we all, follow them, and, it can be, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And aside from the people that have the bad rap, most of the people riding those horses truly bonded and love those horses.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And the trainers, for the most part, as well.
You
got some bad actors sometimes, but.
Right.
Well, and I think there's more positives than negatives, but we hear about the negatives, just like anything.
Right.
The negatives sometimes.
That's with all animals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could say that about every animal.
And I think horse racing needs a commissioner, like the other major sports do. I think that's an issue.
Yeah.
They need a commissioner, somebody, Roger Goodell, that oversees everything. Yeah. I told Gary Stevens on social media, I said, that ought to be you, man.
Yeah. There you go.
And he liked my comments, so there you go. Gary Stevens is a former jockey, Hall of Fame jockey.
Well, that would be perfect because he would be in the know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That would be, you'd want somebody that would.
I'm surprised they don't have one already.
Oh, well, that's a long story.
I'm not educated on it, but.
It's just, horse racing is a lot of old school mentality,
Sure.
the powers that be, and you got a lot of Churchill Downs as an example, big corporations that run multiple tracks, and it's just, every state has their own laws around the horse racing. It would be a big task to get everybody on the same page. Even HISA's the law. It was actually attached to the COVID law. It was just strange, but it was a Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act. And even with HISA, which that's helped to make the sport safer, even with that, there's been some, even where you're going to send the testing, they were going to work with the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, which was logical, but they couldn't. The horse racing and the U.S. Anti-Doping couldn't come together. They couldn't, so I don't know where they're sending the samples. It's just, lots of personalities, lots of big egos, lots of, it's just, it would, but hopefully, with HISA, hopefully, slowly but surely, maybe one day, horse racing will have a commissioner, one voice.
Right.
Yeah, one voice.
Which would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But until then, we still enjoy it for the most part. Yeah, you just don't like to see the animals breaking down, and I think there's reasons for that too. Like, they're bred for distance. Not like that. They're not. If you notice horses, their legs are thinner. Mm-hmm. They're thinner. They're not these big beefy horses, Mm-hmm. But Man o' War, that was considered the best racehorse ever to live. Man o' War was, if you look at a picture of him, he's real bulky. He's short and stocky.
Yes, he is.
And they need to breed some of that back into it, I think. Because you're getting too much muscle on too little bone. And you're getting, just like all athletes, I think they get little stress fractures that you don't know about. And then you see things happen like they happen.
Yeah, and when an animal can't communicate that, it's a little different. You
right.
know what I mean?
Right. You never know right. Until there's an x-ray or like a limp or something, and that's almost when it's really gotten worse. Man of War, if you go to the Kentucky Museum, or is it the Derby Park out there? I don't know if it's still even open anymore. Used to love to go to that. And they've got a big statue of him. Yeah, he's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the modern day
Yeah.
warrior for sure.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Well, and you're right about the way the legs, because they are like a thinner leg, and and that's it's a big difference. And, yeah.
I mean, and the Derby's a lot of that. The Derby is a route race, and you wanna that's your number one that's your number one goal, right? Is to get into the Triple Crown. I mean, that's why we probably see it that way. But Derby's probably the most famous horse race, but that's the other thing about horse racing. The season's very long. The only dark day in horse racing is really Christmas Day. I mean, they race.
It's like Walmart.
They're right. It's like Walmart. It's the Walmart of sports for sure. You're open every day.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that you have stakes races every day, but
now most generally, when you're talking about like the Florida races, those horses that are kind of hitting that circuit to the New York circuit races, most generally, like if you were to take a poll, usually like the winner of the Derby, this is kind of cool. Which usually do they come from? Which do you want?
Which circuit?
Yeah, do you see them more?
That's a great question. I was trying to think. Epicenter ran. Where did? I guess so. Epicenter, the Rich Strike year, he ran in the Arkansas circuit. I was trying to think of. Essential Quality, I think, ran in the Kentucky circuit, so it would have been Churchill and Keeneland. The Florida circuit, I think it kind of goes back and forth. New York hasn't. I don't think New York's had a Derby winner in a while. Those races have been less productive in modern times. Like they had Bourbonic, that year. Yeah, I would, probably the Kentucky, Florida, maybe lesser Arkansas and New York, probably.
It's really interesting to kind of see,
Well, of course, then you got the West Coast circuit. I'm leaving that out because that's Baffert. We know how many times he's won the Derby, so that's
Definitely,
that's probably been the most productive.
Right.
in recent times.
And what
for
races
sure.
would that be more so?
So that's the Santa Anita Derby. What's their prep called? So there's usually three preps at a track. You'll have your 10-point race, your 20-point race, then your 100-point race. And so now we're in the 20-point races now. There's 4 preps next Saturday. So yeah, Saturday will be a big day for those 20-point races.
Well, that's exciting.
So we've already had the 10. That's where.
So do we have door knock or?
Yeah, door knock won the Withers, which is the one in Aqueduct.
Right. Will he be running in this other one?
Yeah. So if they they'll run usually in all 3 of those. If you got a Derby horse, because you want to get the most points you possibly can.
Well, yeah.
And you get points for first, second, third, and fourth. Yeah. So.
Do any of them their strategy to hold out and not run the 1 and 2 and not the 10, the 20 or whatever to hit the 100?
That's a good question.
I mean, right? You know what I mean? Well, because look, you could do it like you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be the ideal though? Because you wouldn't have to do all of the races and have the possibility of those injuries, and you could be cha-ching, right?
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. People don't tend to do it because you don't. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. If you don't hit that race, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't know how your horse is going to train and all that, but there's something to be, when they race, it races them into shape also.
I was going to say, and also, and the more they race, just like any athlete,
right.
the more you compete, the more you, right. You know what I mean? And, you hear teams that, like, during practice, like all summer, they've played each other. And then they can't wait to actually get to play a team, you know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody a little different, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
And challenge you more so, if you will.
And it's interesting that some horses work well in the morning and then not so in the afternoon,
I'd be that morning horse.
I'd be the opposite. I'd be like, please.
You can have that night.
It's goodness. 5 in the morning.
Oh, 5 in the morning, I'm out.
Get out of here.
No, put me in that Bucky chute, I'm out. We're going to win this race, we're going to get it done, and we're going to get it.
Well, the bad thing for you, Becky, is most of the stakes races happen in late afternoon.
Oh, so. No. Afternoon's when I need my coffee, and I'm like, no. I mean, like, my productive, to be productive for me is like, You're morning. You need to, I'm going to move this Derby to morning, because we're going to be creative, you know what I mean?
That's right. Well, now, unfortunately, the most of the stakes races are the afternoon. So your horse might work well in the morning, and then not in the afternoon,
That's
so that's kind of what
we got to train him. I mean, like if I was trained, if somebody would really work with me, if somebody wants to take this task on and work with me and train me, I might be able to be more productive in the afternoon. I don't know.
We're going to train Becky to be more productive in the afternoon.
That's right. I feel like, let's do that. I feel like I hear a Rocky song coming on.
I know. Let's go, Becky.
Let's go, that's right.
Dun-dun-dun.
Well, if I have my, afternoon, do you remember, hang on, let's go back. For some reason, Dr. Pepper's coming to my mind. Because remember, it was 10, 2, and 4. That's when you were supposed to drink a Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yes, 10, 2, and
2. I've never liked soda, but I do remember seeing all those.
Yeah, because it was actually 10, 2, and 4.
Yeah.
So if I had my 4 o'clock coffee, then maybe I'd be ready to run at 5. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I do you kind of go through that little bit of an afternoon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now I'm thinking of the song Afternoon Delight.
Right.
All these things come in my head.
Right.
But afternoon, but you kind of, the afternoon kind of gets a little more, but then I do come back a little bit because I do.
You just have a lull.
Yeah, I'll come back. You know what I mean? I might be, you know what I mean, in my stall for a little minute. You know what I mean? I'll come back.
You can take a nap.
That's right. I'm not a nap person. I mean, I'll ride the tide. You know what I mean? I ride it. I'm awake, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a nap person.
Oh, I love naps. I love naps.
Hang on. I'm a huge fan. I love that people love them, and I wish I could. That's where I get jealous. But I just am not a nap taker.
Just can't.
What about you, Erin?
I love to sleep, don't get me wrong. But whenever I take a nap, I tend to wake up feeling worse.
Oh.
I just can't get back into it, so I just try to avoid them.
I've heard people say that before.
Yeah.
Or I will sleep so long I wake up and I'm like, what year is it?
I've done that before.
Well, you're deep, your body, I'm a fan of them. I just don't do them. But I'm a fan of them. But I think that's cool, though. I mean, I think every horse, too, like you're saying, though, just like people, they all have their personalities.
Right.
I mean, there are Mindy Gunns, there are Erins, there's Becky Whites. You know what I'm saying? There's all of them that are horses with different personalities.
And I think the ones, it's funny, my favorite horse of all time is Whitmore. I mean, and that was a horse that ran on the Arkansas circuit. And he's retired now, but he was just a bad actor, and I just love him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we would kick the people at the gate. And, I mean, he just...
Those are my kind of people.
If he would touch his withers, he would fire. I mean, he would. He just did not... He was... and so they have a Whitmore Day at Arkansas, which I'm going to go to one of these days.
I'm kind of in love with him. That's
a whole day dedicated to Whitmore. And they basically said... Yeah, he might be here, might not. Depends on how he feels. Like, he won't even come. Like, if he doesn't feel like it, he's not. Even on his own day. He's got his own race day at Oaklawn Park. And sometimes he just not feeling. Oh, he's not going to come out. That's what they said. They tell announcers, well, is Whitmore going to come out? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But if he don't want to, let me tell you something. He ain't coming out.
That's funny. That's very funny.
I think he's my spirit animal.
I know. I'm thinking Evan wouldn't. You know what I mean? Right?
I am telling you, love that guy. But he's such a favorite. And he ran in the Derby. His 3-year-old year, he ran the Derby, but he's a sprinter.
How old is he now?
See,
I'm a sprinter too.
He's probably 7 or 8, probably, or maybe more than that now. He ran a long time.
Yeah.
He ran a long time. He won Breeders' Cup too. The year before he retired, he won that Breeders' Cup sprint race, which was exciting. And I won some money on him that day.
Ooh-wee. No wonder you love him. Yeah, the man makes you money.
Yeah, he went off 5-1. Man, he killed it.
But can you imagine bringing him in that winner's circle and knowing like his personality? I mean, like everybody back up. You know what I mean? You know, I've been in that winner's circle.
Right.
You know, and I'm telling you right now. Here, I think the thing that on my end. Okay, like I know that horses are, you know what I mean, that you have to give them, they are animals, you know what I'm saying? You've got to realize you don't, you know, I was raised, you don't walk behind them, you know what I mean? You don't, especially, you just won the Derby, you know what I mean? They've got energy, I mean, they're adrenaline, and everybody, you know what I mean?
Well, because the rider, everybody around them is
and they know something's good's happened, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? And they know that they've done good, and there's a lot of energy going on. And I think then it's amazing to me, though, sometimes how people go, like, they don't give them that respect.
Right.
And I feel like you have to respect, you know.
They know.
And I'll see him walk right behind or right beside and stand. And this horse, you know what I mean, if he shifts to the left, shifts to the right, or, you know what I mean, he has every right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. He's only doing what he knows, just like you said with that little kick, you know. You know what I mean?
Just like, hey, man, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Well, and I saw this great piece they did on him on one of the horse racing shows I watch, and his main handler said he knows we work for him. Like, he knows.
I must spit my coffee out.
He knows we work for him. Like, it's there's no other way. Yeah. It's his way or the highway, and he lets us know.
I love that.
You know, if he wants a peppermint, he's not moving until he gets it. Oh, you know what I mean?
I love that.
And this is after. So there will be no little baby Whitmores because they had to geld him because he was such a bad actor. They gelded him. He may have been gelded his 3-year-old year, but I mean, yeah, he was such a bad actor. And this is after being this is after they gelded him. So can you imagine what he was like when he was 2? I mean, he was probably almost unmanageable. But he is a beautiful horse. He's kind of built like a man of war, really. He's thick, you know what I mean? He's a sprinter.
Yeah. That's so cool.
And back in the day when he ran in the Derby, probably 2016, 15, something like that. I want to say 16. You know, sprinters could still get in the gate, which actually the Ridge Strike year, that happened accidentally, and we saw what happened after that. But the way they've changed the point system, a lot of times sprinters don't end up in the gate. But sprinters ended up in the gate. The Ridge Strike had changed.
No one told him he couldn't, right?
Huh?
I said no one told him he couldn't.
Well, because they come. So some of the early preps are shorter races. They're 7, 8 furlong, probably 7 furlongs, I guess, or a mile. 8 furlongs would be a mile. But so you do have some sprinters trying it just to see if you can stretch them out a little bit. But if you win, you get enough points. Right, and some of these European races, it's cut down on the amount of sprinters in the gate, but it happens still. Yeah. It happens. And a lot of times, if a trainer or ownership group know they have a sprinter, they won't, even though they could get in the gate, they decide not to. you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not what happened. That horse, that horse that was the sprinter in the gate, can't remember his name, Summer Romance maybe, I can't remember. That came from Europe, came from the European Derby circuit.
Oh, wow.
So they shipped that horse over here.
So now, are they doing all of the prep work over in Europe that we are doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is all
so
that
there's a Japan, there's an Asian.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
There's an Asian trail and a European trail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of conditions, I guess, would they would have similar weather? I can't talk. They would have similar weather, wouldn't they? Or would Japan? I've never been. Would they have similar weather? What would the conditions? What are they running on?
All these are on dirt because
okay.
the Derby is on dirt.
Well, I'm just wondering like what their conditions would be.
That's a good. Although there's some of the prep races that are on synthetic as well. The Jeff Ruby Stakes at Turfway is on synthetic, which but synthetic dirt still.
Yeah.
But that's different. Those horses tend to like the grass more than they do the dirt. So a lot of those horses will go onto the grass after that if they don't make it in the Derby gate. But yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm just thinking because I know when they all start coming to Louisville that they like what are you used to running?
Right.
I know they get there.
They train differently too.
Yeah, exactly.
The Japanese train their horses a little differently.
And
you probably saw that last year. Like they do a weird gait thing where they kind of have them they warm them up in a circle, and they train differently than we do here. So it's wild.
It's really interesting.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, it's fun. I'm into it. Well, as you can see from my shirt. My shirt basically says, "In my spare time, I think about horse racing. I research horse racing. I dream about horse racing."
Yes.
And like I say, all these other sports, football, it's all great. Basketball, it's all great.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Right.
I wanted to mention the sporting event that happened on Saturday that nobody probably knows about.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need to know that. You're reporting, trying to get it, everybody.
I'm the reporter.
Nobody gets left out, right? Keeping everybody in the know. Well, it is, and this is the road. I mean, you're talking, before long we'll be jumping into February here.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then March, April, May,
right.
You're on the road.
It's almost here.
It's like, it's on.
It's almost
knocking on our door right now.
Yeah. I sent out a couple of texts on January 1st. When I have my eyes on January 1st, Derby's almost here. It's January 1st.
Almost here. It's like on its way right now. January 1st. It's Derby time.
I might have sent that to you, Becky, this year.
I think I did. I think I can go back and see that. Absolutely. I was like, oh, okay. I'm just trying to get my new year, trying to remember to write 2024 and Mindy. Yeah.
Derby's almost here. It's here.
Pull back on the reins. Pull back on the reins. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa. No, I think it is fun, and it's very interesting, and I think it's cool because this is a huge part. I mean, this is a part where we live, and
right.
We have everybody that, just as soon as I said, that we're the southern Indiana part, which actually, like the market that we're actually in is Louisville,
yeah.
So you have that, and we are in the best of both worlds here.
Yeah.
But you can't help but think about this and hear about this. This is the part of it,
yeah.
And it's cool to know everything that goes into it.
Right.
Because even though we live here, some people might not know all of that and
right.
know that the roads. You just don't all of a sudden sign up and say I want to be in the Derby.
No.
You have to earn your point. You have to earn your spot.
And it technically starts. It starts in November. The first Friday in November is when it starts.
Uh-huh.
That's those 2-year-old races, and that's the start of it. That's not it. That's not true. It starts in September. It starts the third Saturday in September. That's the first prep.
Wow. Yeah.
The Iroquois at Churchill Downs. That's the first prep.
Wow.
So technically, I mean,
would they start to get their points then? You're getting your points then? Okay.
Yeah. So so technically, the Belmont is the third Saturday in June, second Saturday in June, whatever. Hey, it's going to be at Saratoga this year too, by the way, because they're working on Belmont. But but between June and September, that's the only time there's not Triple Crown stuff going on. It starts in September.
Oh wow. Yeah.
The fall meet at Churchill.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
And so you, I mean, like there could be several that has. Do they show their points right now? Like, can you go on and see their points?
Yep. Yeah, you can. There's a lot of sites like Horse Racing Nation. You can go to Churchill Downs website and you can see the points.
That's cool. That's really cool. So then you kind of know if you kind of got a horse that you're kind of following.
Yeah, and I'm behind on the Oaks horses.
Do you suggest like to follow like maybe like pick the top 3, like pick 3, and therefore and then because there's going to be a lot of like some that are going to be weeded out, some that aren't going to go, and some So do you suggest to do that? Like to pick like 2 or 3 so that like if that number one, you might have one that's your favorite, but have a couple others that you really like to follow.
Yeah, because I do. I mean,
because this early, I mean, there could be a lot that goes on in between,
Yeah, there is tons of horses. Although, I mean, well, here's the thing, and this is what makes it a little bit more difficult, is because I mean, you got 20 horses on the board all the time, plus you got probably some of those that are going to fall out, but you kind of have to look at them all, because you kind of have to watch them all, honestly.
Yeah, don't leave, and probably those that you least expect will be the ones that are going to come.
Because every little thing matters in a way, just because a horse won a race doesn't mean maybe he got an easy trip, maybe he doesn't like the mud, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because a horse wins a race, the dynamics of the race are really what affects things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like Dornoch, because that horse, my gosh, gutsy horse. That's the horse. That's the kind of horse that might win the Derby. Because you got to have some guts, and sustain it,
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Well, there's a lot that goes into it, you know what I mean? And you go back and you think, they're at they're in a stall that, new. I mean, everything's new.
Right.
And then, they're there to practice. I mean, everything's, it's a different environment. And then you've got all the crowd, you've got the, the loud, you've got noises, you've got
lots of people. And then some horses like different tracks. Like let's say, that was, who was that horse that really, Last Samurai. That was a D. Wayne Lucas horse last year. I don't know, they may have retired him too, but he just loved the track at Oaklawn. You know what I mean? He just loved that track.
Mm-hmm.
Other tracks didn't do as well, but he loved that surface. So that's a big factor too, whether they care for the, and if you haven't been running at Churchill, you get there a week, 2, maybe a month before.
Yeah.
I mean, if you already got your points, Because see, some of the bluegrass is 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before the Derby.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's that's it's close.
It is definitely, and I think the thing the sport amazes me so much because I think I ran track, and a lot of us have, and you stay in your lane or or like if you're doing the baton, what I'm trying to say, the relay race.
Yeah.
You can go out of your lane, usually. Yeah. And, I still think, though, with that many horses, 20 horses on the track, and trying to shift right, left.
It's too many.
It's just a lot.
It's too many.
And I think as the jockey, well, first of all, the horse, and then the jockey trying to, it still blows me away that there's enough room to maneuver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you can.
Honestly, yeah. I've heard a lot of people say they need to split it and do just 10 at a time. But
that'll never happen.
No, there's too many.
But probably, 14 or 15 is probably ideal.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
20 is too many.
Yeah.
But 14, 15. 15's really pushing it. Probably,
But to get that fast break, if you will, to get that area where you can move, that's what amazes me. I think you have to give huge respect to these athletes.
Yes.
I'm amazed at the jockeys how they do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or because they're up on you're on top of this machine.
Yes.
That just is going so fast.
Yes.
And and you've got your thighs. I mean, your thighs have to be so tightly on that horse.
Yes.
And you're giving it all. And then to look left, right, or how to maneuver, and then let's say
much room.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Amazing.
Yes, and is your horse going to to make that move, and then you've got seconds, and then is there another horse already filling that spot?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I
right.
mean?
Right.
Because
and if you don't move,
somebody else is moving.
It.
You know what I
right,
mean? It's just
right.
like you've got and to
so
think all
many
this.
dynamics.
I think you almost have to have. I think jockeys have to have that. It just goes natural.
Right.
I think you just what you do. It just goes. They
right.
just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They
you know
just
what I mean?
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done it so many times.
I think this is amazing to me.
To your point, I was thinking about Pegasus this weekend. 12. I think they had 12 entry. 12 would have been a full entry in those races.
I think that's reasonable. I mean, that is more safe and reasonable on a track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like when we run, I mean, we could do 20 people and probably be okay.
Right.
But, I mean, you got to think, do they not really think about how big these horses are and how, you know, I mean.
And what they think about is money.
Yeah.
The money.
Erin's a runner too. So
yeah, not a sprinter. I'm a distance runner.
Yeah.
But that's what you kind of got to be, that nice combination there. You know,
Right.
you know,
You're a route runner.
Yeah.
Not a sprinter, a route runner.
I don't care how fast I'm running. As long as I'm in the running motion my entire set distance, I'm good to go.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But 20 is too many. Now, you know, the idea, and if you think about it in the Derby, it's like, again, little horse racing 101. I mean, an ideal trip would be that you would break clean from the gate, you would get to the rail, and then around the last corner, around the last turn, you would tip out maybe 3 wide and then sprint for home, right? That's kind of the ideal trip. Well, think about trying to do that with 20 horses.
Oh, that's what
you can't.
No,
right,
I'm
you
saying
can't.
you have to give huge respect to this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I literally, like, I've had moments of sitting downtime, if you give me any downtime, of thinking of how they do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know.
And in the Derby, unlike maybe some other races, you can kind of make an argument for even coming out of a 12 hole at Gulfstream. I mean, that's hard to do. But when Essential Quality, in my opinion, was the best horse of that crop. I mean, won every prep race, did everything right, but he came out of a bad gate, you know. And so your Justify won. Justify came out of 5, had a perfect trip. And if that race was, I don't know, maybe 4 furlongs more, we have a different Derby winner, you know, but it's that particular race.
I see what you mean, like where you come out at and where you're going to have to turn. With 20 horses makes a big difference.
He had to run, I think it was something like 52 feet, 60 feet longer than the winner, in theory. He had to run longer because of where he came from.
Right, so how does that...
Yeah, it is what it is, but... Yeah.
I know, yeah.
That's the trajectory. So a lot of times with the Derby... It depends. I know a lot of handicappers don't look at that, but I do, because you're running farther. You're already at disadvantage.
That's already more time. If you and I are running together, if you're running further than me, I'm gonna expect that I'm getting there before you, unless you're sprinting and I'm jogging.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's really interesting. Yeah. To see. Well, that's exciting. And so, is there any other horses we have that you got the 2? Can you give me a third one?
Yeah, Locked would be another one.
What?
Locked.
Locked.
I have a lot of cool.
Write these down.
I seen you already.
We don't have a lot of. So this will be an interesting betting year. This is going to sound crazy, but we don't have a lot of interesting horse names. And for a bettor like myself, I want more crazy names, because that means people bet on them, and I get better odds on somebody that I really like. So Locked has done really well. Nash, that's another one. Timberlake.
Wait, Nash is one?
Nash.
I like that.
Nash.
Would that be Nashville? Short for Nashville?
Short for Nashville, yeah.
Love that.
Track Phantom. Track Phantom is actually tied with Fierceness. He's done some running too. I'm not so West Saratoga. I kind of like that horse a little bit. Otto the Conqueror, Catching Freedom, Risk It. Yeah, see, we don't have a lot of... Oh, the Wine Steward. That's one that maybe people will bet on.
My
the Wine
goodness.
Steward.
Yes, you know friggin' well. I can see those.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody will be betting on that.
Right.
That's
so
great.
see, this is, yeah.
Well, really, when you're picking out a name, you want a name that, like, everybody's going to like. You know what I mean? And you got to remember your audience. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is an audience that is going to, you know what I mean?
Well, but... Honestly,
one thing you could name one Bourbon Bound. You know?
Right.
I mean,
there's probably is a horse named Bourbon Bound somewhere. Probably.
I mean,
So here's the thing about it, though, and I wonder if we're seeing this. If I had a racehorse, I would not name it anything exciting, because when you get to Derby and stuff, people are gonna. The more interesting the name, they could get overbet, right?
Oh.
Right.
Look at you playing it well.
I would not. I would not name my horse anything interesting.
What would you name your horse?
I don't know, like, doorknob, weight lift. I don't
know.
No.
Can I name your horse?
Totally boring.
Will you let me name your horse?
It has to be boring.
Oh,
Joe.
It has to be
no,
Joe.
I don't do boring. Okay, but hang on. Can I tell you what I would do?
Okay.
Shotgun.
Shotgun.
Because Mindy Gunn.
Oh yeah, shotgun. That may work.
That would be the name
that's
I would.
It's not like too big.
It's not like too big. That's right.
Okay, let me name you. Okay, so that's the name.
G-U-N-N.
Yeah.
G-U-N-N. Yeah.
That's actually cute. There you go.
Very cute.
I'm very good at this, you guys. Really.
Cute.
So anybody listening wants me to name your Derby, I can name.
Jot that down.
I name puppies. People will message me to name their puppies or kittens. Yes, I'm. It's
a thing. It's what you do.
Okay, so
Asta. I would probably name it Asta. Asta.
Wait.
After Nick and Nora Charles. Nick and Nora Charles. The Thin Man series. See, nobody knows what that is. Asta. Asta. If I have a dog, I'm going to name it Asta, too.
I love that. Well, of course, and that starts with an A, right?
It does. A-S-T-A.
Well, you know, I'm an A team. All my kids are A's, so A's. Yeah, I can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
After Nick and Nora.
I love
Or could call it Nick and Nora. Now, if there was a horse named Nick and Nora, I'd bet, like, my bank account on that.
You could say it like one word, Nick Nora.
Nick Nora.
Nick Nora.
Nick Nora.
Nick Nora.
Nick Nora.
Nick Nora. Nick Nora. Yeah.
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 Okay.
Well, I think that, I think, so we you know, if anybody wants to call, write in, whatever you text or email, or if you want to Facebook message me, I will name your pet.
Okay.
I have that little superpower.
Good to know your seal. I did not know this superpower about you.
There's just so few.
I don't think that's true,
Becky.
Oh,
there's so few. You know
I don't think that's true.
There's just very few. Yeah, very few.
No.
Well, I think it's going to be fun, and I can't wait. So this is, we're going to be, so Mindy, we'll probably see you again in February, maybe, and if we can get you nailed down, you're busy always, but if we can get you in February, and then we'll find out we'll get some updates in March, April, and then cannot wait, and then of course, then the drum roll of, and it's always exciting to see who's going to make the Derby, who's going to be in the Derby.
It is. Yeah. It really is.
It's exciting. You know, it's just like an award show, you know, whenever they tell you who's up for the award, you know.
Yes.
Who's up, because that's huge to be a part of the Kentucky Derby.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. That's a huge, it affects you for months, right? Because you're on the Triple Crown then. The
thing too, and I love the, it's when you go, it's like a spirit. It's like an old-fashioned spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there's so many great traditions. There's so many. I was telling the other day that, like, you know, it can be freezing there, but these ladies know how to bring it. Like, they do the open toe, the dresses, the hats. You know what I mean? And you know, and everything, every part of it. And it's just such a. And then of course you have the mint juleps, and a lot of times people say we don't like them, but we drink them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, you haven't had mine.
So
you would like
so
mine.
You have, you know what I mean? I don't usually get one because I usually am working. So God knows I need every brain cell I have. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So, anyway, but I do like them. You know, to look at them. You know what I mean? You can get mocktails, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want to. But anyway, but like you have all that tradition, you have so many, you know, it's just really cool. It's the history of it all is what I think. I love that. I love that. That feel of it.
Yeah, it's a good, for sure.
Yeah. So, Mindy, appreciate you coming in. I do want to.
Oh my gosh! I just found out something.
Ooh.
My horse racing friend has a horse on the Oaks Trail.
Well, look at that.
Ranked,
so, well, can we...
Ranked number 14.
Week number 14?
No, ranked number 14 on the leaderboard.
Okay, so what's the name so we can...
Yes to Champagne.
How
I am
cute.
good. I know, yeah.
Okay,
all his horses are...
Is that name too much, though?
Yes to Champagne. It is, probably.
It is.
That is too much, okay?
Yes to Champagne.
Yeah.
But most of his horses have a champagne.
Well, you could say,
you know,
yes to champagne, or let's break out the champagne after he wins.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Do we know what he looks like? I always want to know what they looks like. What is she?
Yeah.
I always want to know what they look like.
Let's see what she looks like.
What does she look like?
I'm kind of behind on the Oaks horses. Oh, I can't find a picture of her.
What does she look like?
I cannot find a picture of her. Well, I'm sure we could Google it.
I'm sure she's a pretty girl.
Yes, I'm so excited for Jim. I'm going to have to send him a
exciting.
text. Like, oh my gosh. I was just talking horses on the radio and just realized you.
Look at that.
On the
That's
leaderboard.
like news breaking right
Yeah.
here.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Well, good luck.
I know.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
I know.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
exciting. That's exciting.
It'll blow
And
his
even
phone
make
up,
it more.
actually.
It makes it more personal when you get to know them. And I think that's why it's so important to follow and to stay up, because you do have that relationship that you feel with them. So that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
We're going to root for Yes for Champagne.
Yes for champagne.
Yes to Champagne. Yes.
Yes to champagne.
Yes
Sorry.
to Champagne. Yes.
All right, got it. That's a long name there. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, I love that. Well, there we go. All right. Real quick, I do want to say this is kind of fun. I love cartoons. What about you, Mindy? Erin, love cartoons?
Love.
Okay. All right.
Pink Panther.
Here are...
Yeah.
Did you remember my dad had the Pink Panther station wagon?
No. That's probably a little before my time.
Well, no.
But I love that.
No, it was really cool. I mean, it was...
I bet.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a pink car with the Pink Panther on it.
Oh, my
The Pink
gosh.
Panther, yeah.
I would drive that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, I would love to have that. I know. I'd love to have that. I know. Mindy, me too, though. Okay. I'm going to go back real quick. I'm going to go from 20 up real quick. Okay. Number 20, we're going in popularity. So 20 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Love them.
Yes.
They love pizza. Love them.
Yes.
Love everything about it. Number 19, Popeye, the Sailor Man.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I do.
And good actual slogan about eating your spinach.
That's right. Very good
Strong
for your
in the
eyes.
finish because you're, very good for your eyes. Very good. Number 18, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Love Casper.
Love Casper.
Gotta love Casper.
So sweet.
Yes, very sweet. Number 17, Garfield.
Ooh, that would be higher on my
Yeah.
list. Love Garfield.
He loves lasagna and he hates Mondays.
Yes.
So,
I can't believe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is 20. That was like my favorite.
I'm sorry. It was Erin's bad. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm
Sorry. I know.
Garfield needs to be higher
Look,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the messenger over
Oh,
here.
yeah, right.
Number 16, Tweety and Sylvester.
Okay.
15,
That needs to be lower.
Porky Pig. Okay.
Yeah.
14, or if that was 15, was Porky Pig. 14, Daffy Duck.
How are these ranking higher
I don't know.
than the Ninja Turtles?
Okay,
Or
13,
Garfield?
Wild E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Oh, no. Okay.
Remember
That's a good one.
Genius?
That's a good one.
Remember Genius?
Oh, my
Yes,
gosh.
yes,
Those are
yes,
fantastic.
Number 12, the Rugrats.
No, that's a hard no for me.
Yeah.
I just have to say sponsibility.
Yeah.
My
sponsor
girlfriend.
sponsor. I don't want no more sponsorabilities.
It's sponsibility.
Is
It's
it?
sponsibility. Yeah, sponsibility. Because I know I know this stuff because this is.
Are you sure?
I think so, Erin. I know. I'm
I'm
sad
out.
that I'm
I
so
don't-
embarrassed
I'll-
that I know all that.
Yeah.
But yes. I
I'll
know.
believe whatever you say. I don't know anything
I
about
don't
Rugrats.
Number 11,
either.
the South Park Kids.
Oh no.
Oh,
Somebody blew up. What's his name?
Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah,
That's
Kenny.
right. Mindy knows.
I know South Park.
Okay, that's
I
funny.
think South Park is hysterical.
Yeah, it is
Number
funny.
10, Optimus Prime from Transformers.
What?
Optimus Prime.
I forgot
Oh,
he had his
number
own.
9, Snoopy and Charlie Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, love Snoopy.
Yeah, I love Snoopy.
Number 8, Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
that's a good
Scooby-Doo.
one.
Yes,
Where
yes,
are you? Yes.
yes,
Yes.
I'm in on that.
Yes. Number 7, Ash Ketchum and Pikachu from Pokemon.
I never got into that. So.
Me either.
Okay.
I do know who Pikachu is. I don't know who the
Me
other
too. Yeah. That's
And
it.
I remember whenever they were like going through and they had like they were hiding, like you could go, like they were like a virtual Pikachus around our
Pikachu,
town.
Or
Oh, yes.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well we had
yeah.
that for some reason in my parking lot was a Pikachu.
Oh.
So I had all these people coming in my parking lot. It was hilarious, and I'd wave at them, and they'd be like Pikachu or whatever.
Yeah,
So it, was
right.
like, it was so funny. Yeah, I don't know why.
This program may be found offensive by pencil-pushing, bean-counting, research-loving program directors and radio consultant. Welcome to the Rick and Bubba Experience.
So here we go. From the Big Boy Studio, from Sweet Home, Alabama to the world. Another hour, Speedy, the return of the real Greg Burgess, Helmsy, and Eddie Van Adler all here. So we've contacted Kevin Derryberry. He will report this hour on how it went with Paul Thorne. Welcome back, Bill Bubba Buster.
Glad to be here. Thank all of you for joining us, and man, I'm looking forward to hearing from that. You know, Helms was saying in the break that he hopes it's something we did, and I said, you know, he got mad because I said the name of that song wrong.
Guys, it's got to be more.
It's got to be more.
Surely that's not
it. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that was even close.
Yeah, he and I mean, you know, for me, that's nothing. That's going to happen 2-3 times a day.
It's so bad.
Oh, hey, secondhand right here.
I know.
I was all around it.
So you really was offended by it?
Well, no. I mean, it was...
Hey, he ain't got very thick skin.
The response was a little more than what I thought it was, but I don't know why. But I mean, it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think it was that.
I don't either. The Speedy bark in his ear?
oh my goodness. Oh, okay.
So sorry.
So somehow it's all
I'm so sorry. I want you to know that's him, not me.
See, you didn't have to worry about this last week.
No, that's fine.
I mean, sure.
No,
still one of the best.
It was a pretty calm. It was a pretty calm 10 days. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somehow we've gotten to that.
Oh, I can't believe how you found out.
I was not ready for that one, Greg.
Yeah.
Somehow.
You don't ever forget how I found out.
Yeah, that Rick coming goes, hey y'all.
It is something it is something they did though.
Oh,
it has to be.
Oh, it's got to be.
Because when it was happening, I was uncomfortable.
Because just since I've been here, I think there's been 2 occasions where people claimed that he said, "No, I'm good." Right. And then you tried to set up something and it didn't pan out.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and take this line on myself. No, I didn't spill coffee on him. That's good.
Bollock said he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Bollock said, I ain't going over either.
So anyway, so that we'll get an update from Kevin coming up. So he asked me on the phone, "Are y'all sure you want to know what he said?" Yes, of course. That's either Kevin having fun or we're really about.
I don't gonna be that same company answer he gave the last few times.
Yeah. Oh, I'm good with him. Not helping, buddy.
In fact, I love him.
Well, Rick, I was very excited to have my daughter in town for the weekend. It was not under the best circumstances. She had to come in. Her roommate's father had passed away very unexpectedly in Troy, and had to come in for that funeral. But I did get to spend a little time with Caitlin, who lives in Washington, D.C., and we were talking, and she told me about a concert she had been to, and Morgan Wallen, I know you're a big fan. And she was talking about how all these guys, I don't know where it was, somewhere in the D.C. area. I don't know which venue she went to. But she said she was talking about all the lights they have and how extreme the light shows are now.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, and I've been to these, and I feel like, you know, you always hear if it's too much, it can give you like a spasm or seizure. Yeah, if you have different...
they have to give you a warning.
You have to, all this stuff, because they go from, and you see in the football stadium, they go from bright to dark and back. I mean, it's just, there's no transition time. It's incredible. So she said she was involved in a kind of an embarrassing incident. Said she was going down the aisle headed to the concession stand, and said the lights were going, and they had this thing, it was like at the end of the song where it all lit up real bright. And she said, I had cowboy boots on I'd never wore before, because I wanted to fit in.
Well, you have boots everywhere.
Yeah. And she said, I'm going down the steps and the lights go totally black. Oh, God. And she says, I go down the steps.
No.
I mean, down, rolling. These boots
and the ones I've been to, I've noticed when they do this, when the lights will go off, you see people stumble all the time or hit chairs or something.
Well,
because you go into total darkness.
Bright, dark. And it's so bright it leaves that.
You can't adjust. And she said, and Dad, that was not the worst part. She said, as I fall forward.
But wait, there's more.
She said, I hit this very extremely large man who is carrying an armful of beers.
No.
And she says, I don't know if it was the lights for him too or the fact that I hit him so hard. She says, I knock him down too.
Oh, no.
And that's about a $10 beer.
Beer everywhere.
Now there's beer in her boots.
Yeah.
Down, and she says, I'm falling actually over him.
He stood in line a long time to get it.
Completely over him because he steps
I'm tumbling
down?
over him.
Tons.
And she said he reaches out like to either grab for himself, but he ends up grabbing my shirt, tears my shirt.
Oh.
Good
And
night.
she said the lights come back on, and I'm skin up, my shirt's tore off, there's beer everywhere, there's people mad. She said it was terrible, terrible.
Did the guy like a jerk to her, or was he understanding?
You know, of course, I said, Caitlin, is there any more? No, I'm telling you, Dad, that's what happened. It was absolutely the darkness that got me. It wasn't anything else. And I thought, you know, we've been there. I
have nothing to say.
How about embarrassing moments in public are just tough?
Oh,
Say falling's bad enough.
Yeah,
but
knocking somebody else
taking somebody out with
and probably killing $40 to $50 worth of beer.
Oh yeah, and again, don't forget how long you stood in line for.
Oh yeah,
long. I'd like to know what song Morgan was
saying. And then your skin up, you know, and all that.
Got fingernail marks on
Did you get to enjoy the rest of the show?
She said it was not enjoyable. She said I was hurting. I had beer in my wounds.
Yes.
My shirt's tore off. I'm embarrassed. She says I was glad when the lights went out again so people couldn't see how embarrassed I was.
Scuffed up my new boots.
And then did Betty chime in to comfort her and say, well, one time I dumped butter popcorn on somebody's head, don't feel so bad?
Well, she's familiar with that story.
That's a great story.
I thought it was going to get me killed.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we have to defend our wives, but when your wife is it wrong, and you're just trying to plead your case, you know.
Right.
Please, man.
I get it.
If I was in your place,
and then Betty keeps laughing during the movie because you can see their hair, you know, it looks like it's been moosed with the butter. And,
well, you got to admit that is funny.
Yeah.
It is, but you don't need to laugh at it.
No, you don't.
Because they know what you're laughing at.
Yeah,
and they're not going to punch her. They're going to punch me.
That's a good point. Maybe that's why she was laughing.
Back to Caitlin's story, was the guy a good sport about it?
Yeah.
She said he was extremely nice and he was concerned about me and the fact I got skin up, and she was very thankful that he didn't throw her further down the steps after that. So.
Right.
Well, that helped.
Well, that helped.
Yeah.
That's good.
But she said, Dad, the number of people who saw it.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
And started hooping and hollering.
There you go.
She said, 1 minute you're fine. You're walking down the steps in your new boots, and you are headed to the concession stand. You're so excited. The next minute, total darkness. You're flying over somebody. Your shirt's off. You're laying in the aisle.
Yeah.
People are hooping and hollering, and you're like, oh.
And they automatically assume.
Oh, yeah. Party, social. You know, all that.
Oh, and look, I mean,
you know that's what they were doing.
Well, I always hate the fact, just like what happened to all these things we say, because you do it too. I project myself if I was the person watching this happen, and I was just sitting there.
I'd be screaming 1, 2 minutes.
Sadly,
you know.
And then you try to get up and act normal.
We should really care about people and thank God. You know, we should.
Yeah.
I know.
And
well, I'm glad she's okay. And he acted.
Yeah, I didn't ask what song it was.
Right.
I need to find out.
Any injuries? They're lasting?
Well, no, not that we can tell. I think all the physical wounds have healed.
Okay, good.
But,
the emotional, maybe.
The emotional are still there.
Scars.
And there may have been somebody else further down the aisle. I'm not sure. The whole story got a little confusing there. But
right. Train reaction all the way down.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Is she a Morgan Wallen fan, or she just went to the concert because her friends and all that? Because like if she's a huge fan, this would be a huge disappointment.
Right. Yeah, well, I really don't know.
What about that guy with all them beers?
I think she may have went with some friends who were going, because I don't think that's probably her top genre of music.
Okay.
But she probably, would enjoy it.
She don't want that to happen.
I don't know. From now on, I bet every time one of his songs comes on, she's traumatized.
Yeah, Caitlin shares my affinity for K-pop and stuff like that.
So if it was Psy, she'd been all about it.
Yeah.
I think it was the song "Still Going Down" or "Somebody's Problem."
or whiskey glasses.
Right, sure. Yeah.
This has been a rough morning for us, hasn't it? A lot of odd things.
I feel like it's about to get worse.
Do we want to hear from Kevin now? Here we go.
Rick and Bubba.
Let me guess, your medicine cabinet is crammed with stuff that doesn't work. You still can't sleep, you still hurt, and you're still stressed out. CB Distillery's targeted formulations are made from the highest quality, clean ingredients, and with over 2 million customers and a solid 100% money-back guarantee, CB Distillery is the source to trust. Get 20% off today at cbdistillery.com with the code BUBBA. That's cbdistillery.com and use the code BUBBA, or you can find a link at rickandbubba.com under the sponsor. As we wrap up the year and usher in the next, it's the perfect time to reflect on what truly matters, the people we love most. This year, resolve to keep them safer than ever with Simply Safe Home Security. We all trust Simply Safe in our own homes and recommend it to everyone we know. Save 20% on your new system with a Fast Protect plan by visiting simplysafebubba.com. simplysafebubba.com for 20% off a new system with a Fast Protect plan. Find a link at rickandbubba.com under sponsors. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hey there, folks. Let's talk about something that's on the minds of many of you listening today, dealing with overwhelming credit card debt. Now, if you're feeling like it's a financial uphill battle, we've got some good news for you. If you're facing $10,000, $20,000, or even $30,000 in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, there are programs available that can consolidate those debts into one single reduced monthly payment you can afford if you qualify. Accredited Debt Relief is on a mission to help you become debt-free in just 24 to 48 months. They've already helped over 300,000 qualified consumers, hardworking Americans just like you, pay off more than $3 billion in debt, earning them an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. The consolidation specialists at Accredited Debt Relief tailor the program to fit your specific budget and financial situation. They understand one size does not fit all. Call Accredited Debt Relief now for your free, no-obligation savings estimate and let them help you take control of your financial destiny. Call 800-511-1200. That's 800-511-1200. Program or services not available in all states.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WORK to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WORK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WORK for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I was afraid to cut the cord, but once I did, I couldn't believe it took so long to do it. Paying too much for my cable bill had become a bad habit. I either wasn't getting what I wanted or never knew where to find any of my favorite shows until it was too late. Plus, the prices just kept going up. Thankfully, I discovered a new way to watch, called Philo. For just $25 a month, I can catch all my favorite shows on networks like BET, MTV, and TLC. It even has Nickelodeon for my kids. I can watch anytime I want, anywhere I want. Plus, Philo lets me have up to 3 streams at once, so everyone can watch what they want at the same time. Throw in the unlimited DVR that saves all my favorites for up to a year, and this really is the best deal in TV. I just wish I hadn't waited so long. Sound too good to be true? Well, try it out for yourself, and you'll see why people who love TV love Philo. Go to philo.tv, that's philo.tv, and start your 7-day free trial now.
At Taco Bell, we like to keep mornings simple because before 11 a.m., you're not down for whatever.
No.
You're not interested in trying new things.
No.
You want a breakfast that's toned down and delicious, like the Breakfast Crunch Wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla.
I want to eat that.
See? You may not be a morning person, but it's morning, and you're a person. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m. At participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only while supplies last.
You know how you go into stores and the towels can feel super soft, but then when you get home they don't dry you? Not my towels from MyPillow. They're really soft, but they really work too. What a concept. They're made with a special ring-spun cotton, making them softer and more absorbent than other towels that are out there. Get a 6-piece set for an introductory sale price of $29.98, and you get the designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% right now on all my towels. So head to mypillow.com/Bubba or find the link at rickandbubba.com.
Listening to the Rick and Bubba Show.
20 minutes past the hour, Rick and Bubba Show. Here we go. Paul Thorne update. Our friend singer-songwriter Kevin Derryberry had a concert with Paul Thorne. Those of you that don't know the background, Paul Thorne appeared in our program several times. We made a connection.
He's a regular.
With Paul Thorne. Love Paul Thorne's music. Love Paul Thorne. We thought everything was going great. And then all of a sudden, something took place. We don't know what. And Paul Thorne has never come back to the show, even though he has been requested to come back several times.
And been polite through conversations or texts.
That he's good.
Yeah, that he's fine, but yet then he doesn't come on.
So Kevin, welcome to Rick and Bubba. Thanks, buddy. How are you today, buddy?
I'm very well. Good morning, folks. Y'all about to just throw me under the bus, I can tell.
No.
That is not, no, Kevin. That is not our goal here, Kevin.
First of all, I am in error. We